2022 McLaren 765LT Spyder First Drive, Open Air Adrenaline. Setting up the 2022 McLaren 765LT Spyder for photo shoots can be a difficult task, and not because it's an extremely quick, low, wide supercar. Rather, it's because of the car's deafening engine. You're going to have to yell at me, I can't hear anything, I scream at photographer Darren Martin even though he's standing just 8 feet away. With its 4.0-litre twin-scroll biturbo V8 idling behind my head, I feel like I'm losing my hearing. Just a week or so before, James Warner, chief engineer for the 2022 McLaren 765LT Spyder, told me the exhaust sound is one of the things he's most proud of about this car. And that sound is evident from the moment the engine starts. You can hear it from several houses away down the street, something your neighbors might not appreciate. But the Spyder's 2 occupants will be delighted. Step on the throttle, and the sonorous experience turns glorious as the revs build. The drive. During the couple days we had the 2022 McLaren 765LT Spyder with us, everyone's reaction, whether it was the drivers or passengers, was the same. A smile accompanied by a laugh was first, but after coming to a stop everyone was astounded by what they had just experienced. On paper, a mid-engine supercar with 755 horsepower and 590 pound-foot of torque mated to a 7-speed twin-clutch gearbox sounds like the perfect combination already. But the pairing feels even more delightful than expected from behind the wheel. The powertrain is just one element, and the carbon fiber tub and other bits deserve a ton of credit, too. Engineers focused on making the 765LT as light as possible, using titanium rather than steel for its exhaust system, plus Formula 1 grade transmission materials and even lightweight glazing for the side windows. Compared to the McLaren 720S Spyder, the 765LT Spyder is about 170 pounds lighter. The result is insane. In a straight line, McLaren says the 765LT Spyder reaches 60 miles per hour in 2.7 seconds, and it takes 7.2 seconds to reach 124 miles per hour, and we suspect those numbers are conservative. After all, a 2018 McLaren 720S we tested accelerated from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.5 seconds. Although that model was a coupe and not a convertible, we're pretty sure our test team can beat McLaren's numbers. Besides the sound, the throttle mapping is one of the things we like most about the 2022 McLaren 765LT Spyder. Press the gas pedal gently and the car will move gently, press it hard and your back will slam to the seat. Power gets to the wheels instantly, the transmission shifts lightning fast, and the steering is as precise as you imagine it can be. When we drove the 765LT Coupe on the track, we were impressed by how fast it was. It's one of those rare mid-engine cars that teaches a driver to be better, rather than challenging them to be better, International Bureau Chief Angus Mackenzie wrote at the time. The same applies to the 765LT Spyder. The experience on the road is different than on the track, of course, but twisty Malibu Canyon roads were no challenge for the car or its driver. The planted chassis, agile steering, and perfect powertrain delivered massive confidence. Getting familiar with the 765LT is easy if you know your limits. We hit Decker Canyon Road in Malibu, and while some of the turns were too tight, others were perfectly suited for the McLaren. It's here where the suspension and steering come to the fore. Simply point where you want to go and the 765LT Spyder will take you there. Its precision is as good as a Porsche's, yet the McLaren delivers more feedback and weight than many Porsches we've driven recently. As you can expect from a car like this, the suspension is stiff, perhaps too stiff. Even in comfort mode, our backs were crying for a chiropractor visit. Small bumps are felt in the cabin regardless of which suspension setting you activate. Of course, the roof is the biggest difference between the coupe and the Spyder. With the push of a button the top lowers in 11 seconds at speeds up to 31 miles per hour. That allows you to open or close the top at a stoplight, or even on the freeway during rush hour. One cool thing about the 765LT Spyder is that its rear glass can raise or lower independently from the roof. If you want to drive with the top up but want to hear more of the fabulous engine sound, simply lower the rear window. McLaren says the top adds 108 pounds to the overall weight, which is a minor compromise given the convertible's great performance numbers. On the plus side, the rigid carbon fiber chassis tub required no additional stiffening to compensate for the convertible top. Inside the beast, the cabin was also a place where those engineers looked to save weight. Because the goal was to make the car as light as possible, this meant sacrificing comfort, beginning with the seats. We've been critical of the McLaren Senna's seats in the past, and even though the 765LT Spyder's seats aren't as uncomfortable as those, they still aren't comfortable. Our backs began to hurt after 40 minutes, owing to the seat's thin cushioning. Indeed, the 765LT Spyder isn't a particularly comfortable car. Besides the seats, footroom is cozy, there are no cubbies to stash your stuff, and the entire car vibrates all the time, even at idle. There are nice things about the cabin, however. Carbon fiber trim is abundant, along with Alcantara. While the small touchscreen lacks Apple CarPlay or Android Auto functionality, it's easy to use and is a nice way to hide all the buttons that control the AC and radio. So, how much? If you're thinking about buying a 2022 McLaren 765LT Spyder, how much, is probably the last question you need to ask, but the starting price is $388,000. Our test model, however, came with a long list of optional equipment, which increased its price to $532,680. That's a lot of money, and it's difficult to justify the price. Then again, this is the most potent McLaren convertible ever. McLaren plans to make 765 examples, but of course, of this LT Spyder, and most of them are already sold. That's no surprise, to go with its high price, it looks great, drives beautifully, and sounds even better. Yes, its comfort and value might be strikes against it, but if you're buying a supercar, those two things don't matter much, now do they?
Thanks for watching. Drop a like. Leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.